Hi. Hola. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. We need to get back to showing our children just how much thought, energy, time, and love that we poured into them even getting here. And once they're here, at that point, it is our responsibility. It is our duty to make sure that these children are reared, they are poured into, they are guided, they are directed, they are supported. They are supported. You cannot love a child without supporting that child. They cannot be separated. They go hand in hand. We're going to go ahead and listen to one of the first talking points that I would like to just let Papa Duck say for himself. Let's go.
Let me cut y'all right off. A lot of women, y'all must understand that your children see every damn thing you do.
Yes.
If you sit in the mirror, you put your little tight clothes on, hey, take a picture of me, your child. Listen, children and people in general learn more of what they see than what they hear and what they read. Let me say that again. Children and people learn more of what they see than what they read and what they hear.
Yes.
So if you sit in the mirror, you put in a little tight, then your homegirl come around smelling like weed, liquor, they talking about it. This is why I say when you get a man who know what he want,
it's different.
Before he meets you, that shit ain't gonna fly.
Yes.
I don't care if they're your turn, my turn. You cannot represent me in that light.
Yes.
This is why I say you're gonna have a different. And I'm not trying to be combative. I'm not trying to say it's gonna be hard to be with a man like me.
Right.
I'm just saying there's some things that a real woman, or I like to say a queen, will not tolerate.
Yes.
And a king ain't gonna tolerate it neither. So
that, listen, he said it, and it's all encompassing as far as I'm concerned, that it starts with the life giver, the life bearer, the mother. We are the first point of contact before the child even is born into this realm. We bond with that child for 10 months, give or take. It is at that point when life is conceived and we become aware of it, the bearer of the responsibility, it falls on us as the mothers. You can't skirt around that. You can't navigate around that. You can't excuse yourself around that, because the fact of the matter is that it's the order of things and how God created us. And we have a responsibility and a priority to set the best example possible, since we were the ones that made that ultimate choice to bring life into this world. There is something that goes with that. You don't get to just make that monstrosity of a decision, and then when the child gets here, you want to minimize it and act like it didn't weigh what it weighed. Miss me with it. And as a man and as our king, he has every right as well as a duty and a responsibility to expect nothing less from the one that gave life and that he helped produce a child with. We underestimate and we minimize giving birth and giving life and creating and procreating children. We minimize that in this culture to the point where there are abortion clinics more than there are birthing clinics. We have succumbed to the ideologies. We have succumbed and acquiesced to the culture of this country where they are doing everything to prevent us from procreating. At this point, it is not just an opportunity, it is a blessing. There are so many odds that are against us. There are so many convenient opportunities for us to not give it what it requires as a parent, as a life giver. It takes someone or someone's for it to be instilled and the foundation to be laid strongly for us to stand up and say, you know what? This is the biggest responsibility I have ever been given, I will ever be given. And it is a pass or fail. And you get a small window, baby. You don't get a big window. You get one opportunity to get it right, or you are risking losing not just your children or your child, but your entire lineage. What you pour in, you get out. Let me be clear. And though there are times where you feel like you pour in and you don't really receive the desired outcome or what you consider to be the natural order of things, but once you plant those seeds, God steps in and it's out of your control. But up until that point, you don't get an excuse. You don't get to excuse neglecting life that you chose to bring into this world. Let's continue.
But at the end of the day, you just can't represent me like that. You get what I'm saying? Putting all this little bit, and you're going out and then your daughter, which is my daughter.
Yep, same thing. Yep.
Seeing all this here.
Yep.
Your son, he's seeing all this here. No. Yep. So that's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We ain't finna do all that.
Like back then, it started when you were younger.
Yeah.
And they showed you what it was to have a boyfriend, what it meant to get married, what it is to bring a man home, bring a woman home. Right. Now you bring a woman home. If they cool enough, they celibate.
Hey, you know what though? I just learned this a couple years ago. When I was young,
good to see
I never wondered why me and my cousins and all of us, we had to stay at my grandma's house. You know why? Because my mama told me that if the man went in, if our father wasn't home with our mother, we couldn't stay with our mama. Only on the weekends.
See, it's deep.
See, it's different now. Yeah. Only on the weekend we can go home with our mama. But if our daddy wasn't there, we had to go back and stay with grandma.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, I learned something. Because even though that happened in my home, I didn't understand the significance of it, right? So he's saying that the maternal, like the grandparents, the grandmother, in his case, if his father wasn't home, he and his siblings were sent to his grandmother's house. That is letting you know and reaffirming that time is swift and it's of the essence. It counts. And you know when you go to grandma's house, you're going to get that knowledge. You're going to get those gems. You're going to get that wisdom. Even if you don't understand it, your grandparents are going to be planting those seeds. I'm grateful for the time that I spent with my grandparents. It wasn't a lot, but honey, there was something in my spirit that knew or recognized the significance of it, even without it being explained to me. Because in those brief and small moments, I am in my 50s and I remember those words being spoken from my grandparents like it was yesterday. There is such significance in when it is spoken that it takes a village to raise a child. I'm going to say that again. It takes a village to raise a child. And I'm going to say this. It is to our sheer detriment living in such an individualistic mindset. Everybody got their own house. Everybody got their own cars. When I say everybody, I mean collectively, because obviously it's not everyone. But I will go as far as to say that it is a majority, because it's the world and the culture that we live in that is being promoted, the ideology that you having your own means you're a boss, means you're strong, means that you don't need nobody. We all need somebodies, plural. It's too much responsibility just to depend on one person. It's unfair to that person that you depend on. You need a village. You need a family unit. You need community. Let's continue.
But we ain't bashing men and women. What we saying is like this here. It started at home first.
Be careful what you post.
Yeah.
You know your children following you. You know what I'm saying? And let me, before we go to the next topic, we're still gonna be on the list, but before we go to the next topic, let me say this. Let me throw out some pointers for when you know you got a respectable dude around your child.
Oh, gee.
Right?
Talk about it.
I got to get to him. I got you.
It's a problem.
Talk about it.
A lot of them don't understand that. A lot
They
of them
finna understand today. I'm finna get to him.
Man.
They finna understand.
Talk
I'm
about
gonna give
it.
you a couple things to let you know you got a respectable dude. For one, a respectable dude ain't finna let you listen to no cussing music around them
Not at
children.
all. Not at all.
While you in the car listening to this and this
Nope.
and that, sucking this and all that, making a stay. A real dude will say, look at one look and let you know you better cut that shit off.
It should be starting with the mama. But if it doesn't start with the mama, then that's why you got the pappy. Because it takes two, right? So two should be in the correction business. And even if that is not the biological parent of the child, but it has become the spouse that you chose, y'all need to be on the same accord when it comes to these children. Period. End of story. Mamas, if you're picking men and you're putting these men before these children to the point where you don't even feel like it's necessary to vet the men as potential good bonus fathers, male parental custodians of your children, then you're looking for the wrong thing and you're being selfish. We can't just keep coasting through looking at the physical attraction, looking at the physique and the external characteristics of these people that we invite into our homes, our lives, our beds, and into our children's hearts. Most of our children, unfortunately, in this day and age, aren't being parented by both biological parents. People are moving on. People are choosing different spouses once these children are here. But what is the vetting process? What qualities are we looking for in our spouses, our potential spouses and parental custodians of our children? If I can't trust you around my child, I don't give a damn what you bringing to the table for me. If my child is being neglected, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. I wish you well. Let's continue.
Yes.
Because he ain't gonna let you do that around the kids, and you shouldn't do it either.
Yes.
Another reason is a real dude, especially stepdaddies, they'll never walk around your children, especially little girls, with their shirt off,
Hey,
with their pants hanging off their ass.
People in back.
You know what I'm saying?
Never walk around.
They'll never do
with
that.
That shirt off.
Smoke cigarettes around them. They ain't gonna do those
Hands out
things.
behind.
Yeah, cussing around them, or
No.
just letting them see certain things that's inappropriate. These are telltale signs that this dude gives a damn. But when
Yes.
you got the opposite of that,
Yeah.
it's your fault, mama.
Yeah.
It's your fault, mama.
Yeah.
And you must understand, we all are reflections of ourselves. Everything that's outside of us is just a reflection of what's inside of us. So if you can tolerate that and you're okay with that, that means you that type of person.
He's right. It is our fault, mamas, because we didn't vet properly or thoroughly enough. We did not take the due diligence or the time and put our personal lustful desires to the side in order to prioritize, will this be a good fit for our children, because before anybody meets your children, you should have enough information, knowledge, and understanding about that person to where there shouldn't be a shadow of a doubt with you meeting your children or your child. That to me is key in answering questions such as, is he going to be a good influence or she on my child? Is he or she going to be willing to pour into my child? If you can't dress appropriately around my child without me having to say something, that's a red flag for me. There are certain things that should not have to be explained. And if it does have to be explained, it's okay. You just ain't for me. It's what it is. Let's go.
Yes.
That's what that means. Now let's move right along.
Bro, this is a hard topic though, man.
Because
think about it. You said big thing. Take a real, like let's say, you don't got a real man with your children, man.
Yeah,
you like no shirt on. That's big.
That's big.
You got walk around with shirts on the kids.
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
No,
country music.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Coming out smoking weed or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We ain't doing that. And one more thing too, because I hear little stuff here and there before we go to the next topic about step kids and stuff like that. Sometimes people will bash the stepfathers for what they're doing, right?
Yes.
But let me say this, right? The reason why I would take care of my stepchildren the way that I do is because I want my baby mama to put a man that resembles me over my own kids.
Whoa.
That'll do the same damn thing.
This is the podcast, y'all.
You feel me?
This is the Pop It Up podcast.
Do the same thing.
Uncut. We ain't cutting no corners over here.
And the thing about it is this: you cannot determine who your kid's mother fall in love with. Long as she place somebody over your children that them kids respect, and he respect your kids in return. So that's why I go all out for my step kids or whatever the case may be, because like I say, I would want my kids to have that same resemblance in their life.
True.
So that's just that. Now,
that's powerful, okay? Because realistically, we live in a world where the father or the mother may not remain in the home to raise their own biological children. People move on, they shift, they move. Guess what? That's a sign of wisdom, maturity, and vision. Vision for family lineage. Now, I have the experience of being in a blended family. And let me tell you, it's beautiful when everybody is on the same accord. Because what it requires is the focus being on the children and taken out of yourself. A lot of the lack of emotional intelligence and the lack of empathy for other parents with somebody that you're with that have children with different parents, a lot of that drama, a lot of that discord, a lot of that chaos comes from being into self. You're not thinking of the children first. You're thinking about your damn feelings. You're thinking about how you feel. You ain't even let go of how brother man did you. However, whatever that looks like. At the end of the day, it's about these children. And like Papa Duck said at the beginning of the stream, these children watch what we do. And if it does not coincide and match what we say, we lose their respect right off the rip. And if your actions don't coincide with your words and they are young, you have planted a seed. Don't get it twisted. It may not be the seed that you wish to grow, but you still planted it nonetheless. And we need to get that straight. Because we live also in a time where people refuse to take accountability for hardly anything. But life is going to show you. And if life don't show you, them kids going to show you. You ever want to know what type of person you are when you're looking into your children, in their eyes and in their actions? It's telling you who you are. I said what I said.